Hey race fans, NASCAR Know-It-All here with a preview for tonight's Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. As the band Europe says, it's the final countdown. Meaning it's the final countdown to who's going to make it and who's not tonight here at Richmond. There are already 12 drivers that are officially locked in on wins. They are Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Larson. They're all locked in on wins. Now, what I have here with me is the sheet of the drivers who are trying to fight to stay in the top 16 via points, and below that are the guys that have to win. So I'm going to read you the list of the people who have to make the chase tonight. So let's start off with Chris Buescher. Now, we understand he has a win, but he's not officially clinched a spot. He needs to be in the top 30 in points by tonight. He is battling David Ragan for that spot. Now, qualifying, David Ragan was 21st and Chris Buescher was 31st. Now, in the spring, David Ragan had a great car. He finished in the top 25. Chris Buescher finished top 35. So this is going to be a long night for Chris Buescher. Now, Buescher would clinch a top 30 spot in his own with the 34 points, with the 7th, no laps led, 8th with at least 1 lap led, and 9th with most laps led. That ain't going to happen, which will clinch him a chase spot. Or he has to finish ahead of David Ragan, which we already know. If Ragan, by any chance, finishes at least 12 or more spots ahead of Chris Buescher, then Buescher's out, and he's not in the chase. Now, this next guy is my guy, Chase Elliott. Now, tonight we start 34th, and we weren't good in practice, so hopefully tonight we can have a solid night. We would clinch on points with 24, but we're 39 points ahead of the cut line because there was a penalty with Ryan Newman, and I'll get to that in a second. So Chase tonight had to finish 17th, no laps led, 18th with 1 lap led, and 19th with the most laps led if there's a new winner. Now, if there's a repeat winner or a new winner and Chris Buescher falls outside the top 30, the worst we need to finish is 40th with the lap led and 39th with no laps led. So tonight I think there could be a good shot. Now, if there's a repeat winner and Buescher falls outside the top 30, then he still, regardless of finish, he clinches on points. With a win, he clinches anyway. So now, Austin Dillon, driving the famed 3 car, a 3 has not been in the chase at all. The 3 has not even competed for a championship since the passing of Dale Earnhardt many years ago. Now, Dillon would clinch on points with 33 points, 8th with no laps led, 9th with at least a lap led, and 10th with the most laps led if there's a new winner. If there's a repeat winner or Elliott wins and Buescher falls out of the top 30, Dillon would clinch with 11th points, 30th with no laps led, and 31st with at least 1 lap led, and 32 with the most laps led. If there is a repeat winner and Buescher falls outside the top 30, he would clinch on points regardless of finish. And like I said, with a win, you clinch your spot in the chase anyway. Now, Jamie McMurray, he starts 4th tonight. Dillon starts 8th. McMurray would clinch on points with a repeat winner, and he would have to finish 21st with no laps led, 22nd with at least 1 lap led, and 23rd with the most laps led via 20 points above the cut line. If there's a repeat winner and Buescher falls outside the top 30, McMurray would clinch on points regardless of finish. With a win, he would clinch a chase spot. He could clinch on points with a new winner and help, cannot lose more than 6 points to Ryan Newman, as Newman would hold the tiebreaker. Now, as of Ryan Newman, he lost 15 points after Darlington despite a great finish. He failed post-race inspection, so that really killed him as far as points. He's now 22 points above the cut line. With a win, he would have to clinch a chase spot on wins. He could clinch on points with some help, but he would need to outpoint 2 of the following if there is a new winner, or 1 of the following if there is a repeat winner, or win by 1 of these drivers. McMurray by 22 points, Dillon by 32 points, or Elliott by more than 40 points. That ain't going to happen. Now, if there's a repeat winner, or Elliott, Dillon, and McMurray win, then Buescher falls outside top 30, he would need 20 points, 21st with no laps led, 22nd with at least 1 lap led, and 23rd with the most laps led to clinch on points. Newman qualified 15th, so he's got a long night ahead of him, so we'll have to see how that works out. Now, Casey Kane, there is a relative chance he could clinch on points. Here are the scenarios. With a win, Kane could clinch his chase spot. That's perhaps his only chance. He starts 7th, and he looked pretty good in practice, so I think he's got a shot. Now, he could clinch on points with a repeat winner, or Elliott, Dillon, and McMurray win, and Buescher falls outside the top 30 and would need to outpoint Ryan Newman by 22 or 23 points, depending if there is a tiebreaker. Now, the rest of these guys, the following, have to win to get in the chase. They are Ryan Blaney, AJ Allmendinger, Trevor Bayne, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Paul Menard, Greg Biffle, Danica Patrick, Eric Almirola, who almost won last year's race. Don't you forget, He made a late charge towards the end of the race to have a chance at winning. He came up short, finishing fourth, but that just proves he had a chance and he was fighting for it all. Clint Boyer, he also has to win, along with Casey Mears and Landon Castle. And then at the bottom, it says David Reagan, Regan Smith could win and need help to get inside the top 30 in order to make the chase. That ain't going to happen. But David Reagan, like I said, he qualified well. He ran well in the spring. There's a possibility. Anything can happen here in Richmond. That's the magic of Richmond. It's do or die time for these guys. So for Chris Buescher, you have to say ahead of David Reagan by running better than he does, or if they're running close to each other on the track, then that means Buescher's going to make it. If he falls way back and finishes dead last, and David Reagan finishes 20th, then Buescher's out. So this is a complicated night for a lot of these guys. Chase Elliott, we have to run well tonight. So I'm hoping he can put those practice speeds that were terrible and qualifying speed that was just ridiculous behind him, and hopefully we can have a great night. And I'd love to see Austin Dillon get into the chase. J.B. McMurray, he could possibly clinch. I mean, I really don't care, but I'd love to see KCK win. But Ryan Newman, losing those points, that could hurt him. So we'll see how it goes down tonight. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight's Federated Auto Points 400, and I will have the race review tomorrow of who's in, who's not, and what to expect for Chicagoland Speedway as the chase after tonight. It's 1 week away. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new game for 16 guys. It'll be a fun chase. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Put a good like on this video if you enjoyed it. Enjoy the Federated Auto Points 400 in Richmond. Who's in? Who's out? That's the magic. We'll find out after 400 laps and 400 miles at Richmond. Have a nice night, everybody. Enjoy Richmond International Raceway, the last race to make the chase.